So, came across these. Actually, like I said, I was literally on a video when I was driving, and as I was driving, I was explaining that sometimes when you on this hunt, treasure hunt, yard selling, going to different people's house, looking at their items, that it's gonna be times that you're not hitting nothing. I mean, yard sales, estate sales, appointments, you go there and it's nothing. You're just wasting your time, wasting your gas. It's frustrating because a lot of times we do this for full time, right? So you need to make something out of your time. And sometimes you get frustrated. And I was explaining that you just gotta be patient, dude, like really patient. So a lot of these little small things going on. So many things. This one, I looked this up. This is like $24. Most of these things up, and the thing is, sometimes you don't have a lot of time to look things up. Sometimes while you looking things up, they looking things up. And I'm honest. If they say, "Oh, what it is," I'm gonna tell them I'm looking up for the price. And then they say how much it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell them, it's like $29. So it's up to them if they be like, "Oh no, I'm not selling it," or if they raise the price. And some people, they don't care. They're trying to get away. But I don't lie. I don't try to manipulate or tell them, "Oh, I don't sell," or I don't. You know what I mean? So the main thing is just be quick. You don't have to worry about nothing, right? Know as much as you can. Sometimes you take a chance, depending on the prices. Obviously, if it's like $1, $2, it's like a no-brainer. If it's brand new, old items, just get it. Look it up for details later, right? Obviously, if they want $15, $10, $20, then that's when you have to take your time to look it up. And believe me, most of the time, if they selling it for $20, $30, they already know the price. So you could look up there, you'll get your phone, click it up, look at some prices, whatever, it should be fine. But main thing is always have communication. I don't lie, don't try to, con or manipulate nobody. I buy and sell for a living. And then if they ask, I tell them, But most of the time, if you fast enough, you don't have to. They're here to sell, you're here to buy. Here, bam, how much is this, how much is that? Oh, that much? Okay, cool, bam, right? And so a lot of good items that I have. Real quick, I'll let you know what I have. Microverse. As soon as I seen anything small, I get, because when I was growing up, I always watched a commercial, and it was this guy, and he was, I don't know his name, I'm gonna look it up so I can get more information, but he had these little micro mini cars, and he just be talking real fast, and I always, anytime I see something small, even though this got nothing to do with the micro mini cars or him, but I always think of him. So it always like bring nostalgia back, right? But Batman cars, superheroes. So these things roughly about $14.99 to like $30, $40. I see a couple items that I had was $14. This little Hot Wheel Oscar Mayer wieners, like $14. I got that because I got it because it's cheap. So most of this stuff cost me about $1 to $2, but I had to buy a lot of them. Like I said, about 40 pieces. And then, like I said, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. So after I looked at a couple of them, a couple prices, I was like, I just get all of them. And there was a couple people that was looking, waiting to see if I could get all of them. And I tell you this, I have no problem with people being on my shoulder or looking, or asking questions because they trying to buy it, right? But I do believe that sometimes there's an etiquette of buying that I try to, guide myself on. So most of the time, you don't want to each their own. This is a competitive sport, but most of the time, the ethic is if you going through the box, you might let somebody, get through the box. But that's it all depends on the situation, right? So if you get a box, you could go through it, and some people be like, oh yeah, you can look at this while I look at that. It all depends on the situation, how many boxes it is. If it's a whole lot of boxes, I believe a person should be able to go through that box, right? and without no other distractions, other people trying to snatch in the box, and let them go. But like I said, it depends on the situation and the people for the most part. But in this situation, I already had the items, and I was just pricing, double checking. The person was like, "Oh, you gonna get these?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get these." That's why I'm like over it. And some was already back because I already purchased it. Like I said, he was coming back and forth, bringing some more stuff. But he was keep on like, "Oh, you sure you're getting it?" And I'm trying to be nice, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting it." At what price? I don't know, but I'm getting it. But yeah, I understand because I'm in that situation too. Sometimes we're like, man, if I was only a couple seconds faster, I would have got these. But at the same time, no harm, no fouls. You got to keep your composure. Don't get too angry, because there's gonna be certain situations, people snatching from you, like literally snatching. As soon as you're doing that, they snatch you, or you turn your back. And then also other times where you put your stuff down and they would take your stuff, not like give me it, but like knowing that it's somebody, because there's all kinds of good stuff already in the box, they would take your stuff and buy it and leave. I had a couple of things like that happen. Not to me personally. Most of the time, things that happen to me is they look at my bag and I'll be like, "Oh, that's mine." But I have seen in sales where people spend hours and a half getting all their items together, not paying attention, turn around, somebody get all those items and buy it. They didn't technically steal it because they brought it, but they definitely, it should have been washed. And some of these sales, you can't ask somebody, "Oh, can you wash it?" And some of these big sales, estate sales, they will tell you, "Yeah, we could watch it, but that's on you." You know what I mean? It's a risk. You put it down, somebody could come, because they don't have time to be like, "Oh, that square box with 5 items is this person," right? So you definitely have to guard your treasures. That's just like if you was in a treasure hunting and you was in a boat and you go and you dive and you spend all the time getting the gold and stuff, and you get up, you're just not gonna leave it on the corner or by the beach, right? You're gonna put it up, put it in a chest, lock it up. So real quick, these items are these little toys, these little games. I got this little, I love these. I love my Achilles heels is these little wooden things. Anything wood, I just love. You know what I mean? I might not even sell it. It's the spoon is over there. This is the fork. I got these with the toys. Also, I took a chance off of these cards. I don't know too much about the DC cards, or I don't know too much about these because I didn't look it up. And so I decided to get it. It was part of the thing, so I got these, and it was like old school and stuff like that. So, and then I have these that's actually in the box. Excuse me. I need a bigger table. Eventually I'm getting more set up. Like I said, this is what I do for a living. So I'm like in the field. This is actually what I do. So, but I know I did a couple of posts, couple of blogs about buying and selling before. And every time I sell something, people be like, "Hey man, you should do it again. You should post it, whatever." But it's kind of hard because I'm always buying. But I've decided I'm gonna help y'all out, show y'all some tips to the trade. Any of you ever need any advice, or if you got a deal, want to include me, whether you know somebody or see an opportunity or whatever, you want to sell to me or buy from me or whatever, feel free, right? Hit me up. Obviously this is just a video now, but eventually it's going to be connected to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. So just message to wherever this video is on, and I will get back to you. A couple more items. And I was saying to myself when I got these items is that just stick to your guns, learn as much as you need to learn as you go, and it's never gonna be a time where you late or that you too late. Because I was thinking to myself when I was driving to the sale, and this person that was at the other sale beat me to the sale that I was arriving to, and I was like, I'm not really tripping because they don't got the eye that I have, right? And then they looked at some stuff they seen. I think maybe they brought one thing and then they left. and then I'll go and I'll look, and like I said, this is nothing like wow, 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 but it's definitely something that if somebody didn't have confidence, they would have been like, they already went there and looked, they didn't have nothing, and you leave. Nah, don't ever. I stop at everything, even if it's like 2 items on the table, even if it's like 30 people there, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna look. You know what I mean? If I'm not gonna get anything, I wanna know exactly what I didn't get that or it wasn't. I'm not gonna assume that they didn't have it or somebody got the good stuff, right? So I went to this sale after that person was, before me. And I looked, and, nice little Regent skill fill stainless steel knives, brand new, never used. A lot of these items was gift items, marriage items, anniversary items, stuff like that. And it's still new. So yeah, this is like $30, $39. And I got it for I think I got this for 2 for $5. So that was like $39. And then this set, like I said, it seemed to me like this was like a wedding set. Even though the box is broken up, it's still, you can put open box. You could put used if you want to, or you could put like new or whatever, or you could put open box got damaged or whatever, depending on what you're doing, how you're trying to sell it. So and then like I said, I love wood items. I got this. Hold on one second, I don't feel like pausing it and coming back. Well, you know what, I will. I have 2 pictures that I also got with this, which is a Top Gun picture and just a man cave, like a bar picture. But anyway, out of all this stuff, I only spent, I'd say $85 for the toys and another $15. So about $100. And if I could tell you, kind of like estimate, would be over $600 to $700. And most of it should be an easy sale. And like I said, in my mind, I want at least 30% back of what it's cost, and I want my money back as soon as possible. So as I buy, I'm looking like, okay, I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna post that to get my initial money back. Once I get my $100 back or make $150, I'm cool. Everything else is just gonna trickle down. I already got my money, so I could go to another sale or next week, whatever, have a little bit more, and then the other things is gonna trickle, right? So eventually, say I sell out of 60 items, I sell 10, get my money back I sell 10, get my money back plus another $50 or whatever, another $100, and then eventually I have 40 other items in my inventory. Next week I do the same thing, get 60 items, sell 20, I have 40, and then I sell 5 of the last week. So now I have 65, blah blah blah. So later on, I got my money back, more money to invest in this stuff. Plus, I have my inventory of all kinds of stuff. And then holidays, seasonal products come to play, and it'd be quicker. So anyway, like I said, I'm taking time off what I do to give you a little bit of information. Hopefully, it's entertaining. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking, obviously, when I look at the editing, I'm gonna edit, so I can give you like the juicy stuff, because I could talk for days, right? But anyway, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, and welcome and thank you for viewing YardSaleKings. And I am what I consider a yard sale king, somebody that does not take no for take no. I don't even know how to talk, but anyway, take care, and thank you for watching YardSaleKings. Till next week.